took this shit earlier, and it looked like somebody had like murdered my poop.
Really? Just slaughtered it completely.
It was a massacre. Well, I forgot I'm slightly lactose intolerant, and I had a really big chocolate milkshake.
Oh, really?
Hey, everybody.
Hey, yeah.
Hey, Ken.
What's going on, man?
Well, it looks like we're back for another episode.
You already know.
Literally, with Ken and Karl.
Literally.
So, how you doing?
Man, same old, man. Another week, new stuff coming out. We got episode 9 is up. So, episode 8, I'm sorry. 8 is up. All
right. So Ken just let the cat out of the bag, so to speak.
Meow.
As some of you know, episode 8 was slightly delayed. Not due to technical issues. I just had back-to-back visits. My niece came to visit, and then my mom came to stay, and got me a little bit behind on my editing chores. And
women.
It happens. It happens. You got to be there for family. Actually, my niece will be showing up here shortly. And I have a feeling that Tango's gonna let us know when she gets here. So, but episode 8 was actually a really great episode. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But I also learned a completely brand new editing process, which is going to save us a lot of time and get us kind of a quicker turnaround, which is very cool.
More stuff I have to learn.
But episode 9 had an issue. Wah, wah. So I will be able to get episode 9 together. Trust me, it's going to be a really good episode. But it's going to take me a minute because we did not get audio on 2 of the cameras. Ken had done some research, found some pretty cool mics for the cameras.
That's right.
So we could get a little bit better audio off of the cameras, so syncing it with the software and making sure that this audio, which makes my voice sound so incredible.
Yeah, mine sound like Barry White. No, it does not.
No, it does not. But
puberty did not favor me.
It does make it a lot easier for us. So 9's going to be kind of a challenge, but I will get 9 out as quickly as I can. Obviously, the apology is kind of retroactive because you're going to see this long after 9's come out. So hopefully nothing happens to this one.
Pretty much. I'm hoping, but things happen. You can't stop life, man.
No, that's true.
You can't stop it, man.
That's true. But I'm glad we're back in it because, man, I'm digging it.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, it's good, man. It's always good to sit here and shoot the shit with a friend and most importantly, clarify every time that he's being an asshole.
Somebody needs to call me out for it, and I'm glad you're the guy.
I'm here. Vader's here for you too.
Unfortunately, that means you're kind of the one that takes the brunt of my assholishness. So
stinks.
Yeah. Notice you got the specs on.
That's right. Yeah.
I had to make a note of calling that out.
Yes, people. I do wear contact lenses and I do wear glasses. Sometimes my eyes need a break, so
you're so vain.
There you have it.
Think the song was about you, don't you?
And that version of that song is sung by an asshole. But anyway,
yeah. Don't make me sing my theme song.
Oh God, no! Don't do it. Don't do it.
So, real quick for the people that are listening, I'm gonna talk about our table again, just because I like to do that. And you guys should continue to listen, but you should also check out a couple of the issues on YouTube because there's a lot of fun stuff that happens. And Ken's face is amusing at times when I light it properly, unlike episode 8, which looked like you were a villain hiding in the shadows.
Hey, man, look here. I had to do that. I mean, I just felt in that moment, you can't have him by you and just be all in the light all the time. You have to go dark sometime. You have to go dark,
So you're taking that one on you and not me. I was the one that poorly lit you, but you're going to say that was you just being...
Yeah, I'm not going to let you be an asshole this time. But like in 2 minutes, I'll find a reason to call you an asshole.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah.
I'm sure you will.
Yep. You never let me down. You always give me one, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess in issue 9 we had Thor's hammer up on the table. I do have my 3rd arc reactor. This one, the case is a little bit upgraded, which is really cool. It was a cool find. And this one is touch sensitive, which is kind of cool.
It's movie quality, folks.
So kind of neat. And then I got this really cool blueprint from the United States Patent Office, which is legit, I'm sure. And it's got old Tony Stark's handwriting on it, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah. We love you, 3000. Oh yeah, he actually, made me one, and I'm like psyched up to go home and turn on and just be like, that's mine. And pretty much I'm gonna have to fight people because they're gonna like come out like, where'd you get that from? And then I have to look at him and why they're like holding it, going out the door. What? I was just taking it outside. No, he was not. Put that shit back.
Are you talking about Big Rob?
Pretty much, yeah. Once he finds out, he might hold me at gunpoint for it.
If he wants to take that, he's taking it.
I know. When he sees this, I'm not even going to tell him.
I'm not even going to be mad about it.
And the reason why I'm not going to tell him, just to see if he's really watching the episodes. When he finally watches this, so he wasn't going to fucking tell me, okay, I'm coming to rob you. Like, what kind of shit is that, Rob? And he called me next day, hey buddy, how you doing? That's him. But yeah, man, it's just another week, man. More stuff, more COVID-19 stuff, requiring people to wear masks.
Yeah.
And you got the governor, he's suing the mayor in Atlanta.
So it's interesting that you bring that up.
Of course, I have to.
Yeah, because I work in retail, and there was kind of a weird period when the mayor of Atlanta issued an ordinance, and several cities and counties copied and did the same thing, that anyone inside a office or a business without a mask on could be fined up to $500. And the store that I work at is in one of the cities that followed this policy or this ordinance.
Yeah.
And shortly after, the governor had turned around and said that they didn't have the authority to do that, and basically ordered everyone not to. But companies still have a choice, and companies are making the decision to do it. Walmart, Kroger, many companies are doing this at the moment. And so I had a fun little Karen incident. We had a pretty rough day of getting yelled at by a number of people telling us that it was bullshit and that we were assholes for making them do this. And at the end of the day, I got a fucking job to do, so I don't, you shop somewhere else. I can't really help you.
Yeah.
But we got to the point where we were just offering them free masks, medical masks, like not like pieces of my T-shirt, like 3-ply medical masks.
Yeah.
And when we would approach people, we were just coming up saying, hey, I hate this, but we have to mandate this. It's, part of the city ordinance.
Yeah.
And this one lady, she's fine. So she grabbed some mask. I actually gave her one for her and her maybe 3-year-old daughter that she had in her arm. And as she starts walking away, she puts it on, but she's got it underneath her chin. So I approached her and I said, ma'am, I'm really sorry, but you do have to wear it properly. So she pulls it up to her mouth, kind of like over her bottom lip.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ma'am, that would include your nose. Fuck this. Rips her fucking mask off, still while holding a 3-year-old or a 2-year-old. throws the mask on the ground. This is fucking bullshit. Grabs a peach off of the fucking table and throws it at me. Then she swipes with her arm and knocks like 4 bags of cherries all over the floor. Walks over to a display of 2-liter bottles, grabs a ginger ale and throws that at me. All while screaming how unconstitutional this is, and that I'm an asshole, and she's lived in this community for 30 years. She shouldn't have to deal with this. And I got her tag number. I sent the police to her place.
You did everything right, but I do agree with her. She was right to call you an asshole.
Yeah, but not for that. Not for that. I mean, I am all for when I deserve it. Yeah, bring that shit.
Of course, but I had to mention it right now since we're together. That's great. You know, and then she hit you with a peach, so that makes you a peachy asshole. You know,
I'm gonna hit you with a peach.
A ginger peachy asshole. You know, basically, you're a new flavor now.
Ginger peachy asshole.
Yeah, that sounds like a shot. Like, here, do you want a shot of this ginger peachy asshole?
We used to game with this guy. Justin, well, I still game with him occasionally. He's one of those kids that's like amazing. And when I was playing Call of Duty, like, you know, Modern Warfare 2, you know, back a little ways, and we had a group of guys that we played with. Actually, I think you chatted with Lonnie one night.
Yeah.
And you thought he was really amusing. But we used to game a lot, became really good friends, and this one guy that used to game with us, we generally wouldn't game with young kids, but Justin we would play with. And he was ridiculously good. Like, he was one of those kids that he would go with a 44 Magnum and a knife, a tack knife, and he would just run. And like 28-4,
goodness,
30-6. Like, it was incredible. I tried following him a couple of times, and I just would get killed in his wake, like, every time. So he's a ginger like I am, and because he was the young kid in the group, we'd brag on him, but I mean, we rag on each other. So
of course, that's what you do.
We didn't treat him any differently, but I had given him a nickname one day. I had said something about his ginger pink butthole, and it had kind of stuck. Everybody's been calling him ginger pink, not like a nickname, so to speak. We just every once in a while we'll mention his ginger pink butthole, and he'll giggle.
Oh, God.
When you said ginger peach asshole, it's kind of reminded me of that. Sorry, I went on a tangent.
It's just funny how you said that together. Like, every time we mention it, he'll giggle. That's funny. That is really funny. Oh, man. Yeah. I still haven't played my Xbox in a minute, man.
I haven't seen you on in a minute. I
know, man. I really have not really been on it between work and running around and then squeezing this in. I really haven't had the time, but I finally did buy the Jedi Order. I did buy it.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I just haven't.
You just can't play it because you don't have a hard drive to put it on. Am I wrong? Tell me I'm wrong. Come on.
This is true. No, I just haven't like stopped by. Like, oh, let me go get it. I just haven't.
You have Amazon, right?
Yeah, I do. I do. I just, like, when I'm on there, I'm not like thinking about like that right now.
Right.
I mean, just,
okay. I mean, I'm not going to pressure
trust
you.
Trust me.
That's fine. I actually downloaded a new game that I started playing because I have the hard drive space.
What is the game called? Asshole?
It's actually called The Hunter, Call of the Wild.
Witcher.
No.
Really?
No, The Hunter.
The Hunter.
Yeah, it's like a hunting game.
Call of the Wild, but Call of the Wild has okay.
Yeah, it's like a hunting simulator or something, I guess.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of simulator games getting ready to come out. I've seen
quite a few of them.
Yeah,
I mean, when they had games like Goat Simulator and Farming Simulator.
Yeah, this farming one has been actually pretty popular. And then they got the airplane simulator getting ready to come out, and that thing looks crazy.
Which one?
It's like some new one is coming out. I don't know if it's going to come out for the next gen or...
Okay, because, the the flight simulator that's been around for decades on PC is still like the benchmark. No, but they were cool. Like I used to, way back in the day, I had one like a joystick with a yoke and the whole. Don't judge me.
Hey, I'm not judging you.
Judge me.
I'm not judging you. I'm just simply going, okay.
Just okay. I like that hat. You're very Star Wars today.
That's right.
That's right.
The Force. Mm-hmm. The Jedi.
Yeah. You know, it's weird, though. Okay, so there's a stormtrooper and Vader on the hat. I was going to say, it's not a very Sithy hat.
Haters. Why you gotta be one, okay?
Did you know the 4-foot Vader actually makes noise? I think there's a button on his chest, the red one.
Really? Oh, shit.
Hit it again.
Why am I finding this out now?
I don't know.
It's been here.
Yeah.
And you haven't said shit about him, just like
he was
able
off
to talk.
To the other side.
Off to the other side of my ass. He's been here. He was here when I talked about Grandpa Joe's ass.
Hit it again.
He's been here. God damn it.
Oh, it keeps going.
That's right. That's what I wanted to hear.
The green one.
Oh, wow. What's this?
How dope is that?
That is dope. It's like, I kind of feel like low-key gay, because when I touched him, the button, and he went, he started like breathing hard. So
if the button had been over and up about 2 inches.
Anyway. Hey, man. Hey, this is how we do it, man.
Yes, it is.
Man, it's been a long week. Mm-hmm. Long freaking week, man.
Yeah. I got to watch some cool movies lately, though.
What did you watch?
I watched, Kung Fu Hustle. I was talking to you about it. Okay. On 8, we were talking about Kung Fu, and I couldn't remember the name of that movie with the old lady in curlers. Yeah. It was Kung Fu Hustle.
Yeah.
That was another one of those cool Kung Fu movies.
What else you watch?
What did Erica and I watch the other night? Why can't I think of it?
I don't know why you can't.
It's The Wrong Guy.
Oh,
so it's
wow.
One of the guys from Kids in the Hall, Dave Foley.
Yeah.
And he's a vice president of something that's made up at this company. And he's thinking he's going to get this promotion. And he's getting ready to get married to the president's daughter. And
typical.
You get the feeling right off the bat that no one in the office likes this guy at all, right?
Right.
And he's a putz.
That works. He's a putz. It's like it's been like every movie, every generation that comes around again. It just resurfaced. You putz, Even grumpy old men, you putz.
It's a word. It's a really good word.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like.
But he ends up not getting the promotion to president. It's this other guy at the conference room table who's marrying the boss's favorite daughter. And he gets all upset and starts like, I'm going to kill you and blah, blah, blah. And he leaves. And then he goes into the office later to talk to him. And as he's talking to him, he realizes he's dead. The guy slumps over and he's got a knife in his neck.
Really?
And like an idiot, he grabs it out and he's got blood all over him and he's like freaking out. And
oh my God.
It's this whole like road trip, him kind of trying to like evade the law. And then he runs into Jennifer Tilly.
Man, she was bad. She was great back in the day. I don't care what anybody says. Jennifer Tilly was it.
I need to get some ice for my wine.
Oh my God. Yeah, and she was in matter of fact, she was in wasn't she was in Cool World, wasn't she? Or was somebody else who did the voice? because they almost sounded similar, just like her. If it wasn't her, they came pretty close.
We might have to start having a fact-checking segment of the show.
I know Jennifer Tilly was Bride of Chucky. I know that was her. She was in an old movie in the 80s. I can't think of the comedian's name. He's My Girl is the name of the movie. She was in there. Yeah, she's done a lot of movies, but she was pretty hot back in the day. Like I don't know what she looks like now. She could be fat, skinny, fat, skinny, old and fat. I don't know, but I'm just saying she had a moment. You know, it's a lot of them that was like great back in the day. That just now I mean Sharon Stone, she still looks pretty good. I mean I will always bring that up because
I have a problem with what happens to women after they've had plastic surgery. So like it rarely goes well. Like, and no, I'm not saying like even if it's done well, it's still not going to age well. You know what I mean? Like, and then you kind of start getting more and more, and then it starts making you Joan Rivers. It's
kind of, oh God, Joan Rivers. They said she was sick. No, she died because of too much plastic. Now,
she ran out of skin.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, just sitting there trying to do the show, and she's sitting there, hello, darlings. You can't, not moving any damn thing. You couldn't know, but. Another one, I thought she was great when she came out. Little Kim, when she first came out, there was nothing wrong with her.
Freakish looking now. Yeah.
And now I don't know what the fuck she looks like. I don't know. I think even this picture's supposed to be Joker. I can still see Little Kim right there. That's how she looks to me right now.
Yeah, like, a little bit.
Like and that's one thing I kind of question on just for any women out there is like, why are you getting this done to yourself to make yourself feel better? I mean, don't get me wrong. People should accept you for who you are. I mean, because years later, once you get older, you got to remember, you can't fix what you've done to yourself like that. You pretty much gonna have to go back because you'll never be.
You're right, though.
The same. You'll never be.
It's really kind of, it's weird. There's a really kind of systemic issue there as well with women and image and all of that. I mean, it's been ingrained in them.
Yeah.
And we're talking for like centuries. Women have been told how they need to look and have done the craziest things to their bodies to get to these things, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, how many women really need to go through all of the crap that they go through? They do it because of magazines and TV and all that other bullshit, right?
Right.
And I'm sure there's a large part of dudes that are like, yeah, I like when my girl gets, all make-upped up and stuff. But like, I'll flip around on Instagram and I'll look at some of these accounts and, it's like, you can tell they just have no self-esteem.
Yeah, I never understood that. My thing is, I understand that you're trying to some of them, they do that. They try to model. They're trying to get something started. And then some of them do that OnlyFans crap where they show their bodies, XYZ. But my thing is, how are you going to find somebody that, if you're single, how are you going to find somebody that's going to be there to essentially for you, that's going to accept you for who you are, and knowing that you've shown your body, it's on the internet, even though you've stopped, it's going to resurface again and again and again. That's something you have to live with. And at the same time, this man has to live with the fact of that, hey, yeah, I'm with you, but the world have seen you like I've seen you. Mm-hmm. And that's something that I think that women don't think about. They're in that moment, but they don't think about down the road. And then ultimately they get mad when they're left alone and no one wants them because of their past, even though in that moment it shouldn't be about your past when you're meeting them, but you still kind of want to know their background. Hey, where you've been, what you've been doing, or some people say, what do you do for money? But no, but in general, what do you do? No, but in general, all that comes back, you know. I mean, there's like I said, there is nobody who's better than the other person. But in general, I mean, natural is the word natural is becoming extinct to a certain extent. It really is, if you think about it.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into the semantics of something that's man-made is still natural, but no, I totally get your point, and I personally have always been into women that really didn't do a lot of, like
like if people understand like
makeup or any of that other stuff.
What's her face? Marilyn Monroe.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, Marilyn Monroe wasn't that small. A lot of people don't know that.
I don't know that she was ever small.
Yeah, she was like. I mean, but the camera and the angles that they got her at made you think that.
Well, but the body shape has changed in different eras just because of what was deemed popular in magazines and stuff like that. So her shape was still very kind of European, but a lot slimmer in the actual waist, but still very hippie. She wasn't ever skinny.
I know who thought she had a great body.
Who?
JFK.
Mm-hmm. Mr. President.
You know what he said? Ask not what your country can do for you, what you can do for your country. Bend over. Stop playing. I'm just joking. I'm joking. Seriously. No, but seriously, I'm joking. But I honestly, between women like her, I can't think of the lady's real name. She played Thelma in Good Times. She had an amazing body in her, in her time. I mean, my thing is, it's not about being a certain body type, because you got, like, here in Atlanta, every girl has a butt. Every girl. Damn near. You know what they're doing, because at the end of the day, it's something about your hamstrings.
They have specialized exercises to work your glutes and to make them bigger and all that kind of stuff.
Squats.
All kinds of stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, even in general, you have to understand that, like, we're all put here. We're not all going to look the same way, and if we looked and acted the same way, it would be a boring world. It would be very boring.
Absolutely.
And the thing I believe that people don't understand about them is we're all unique. But the thing about it is what about you, what can you highlight about you? You're highlighting your attributes that makes you stand out from everybody else. This is something you have to find within yourself. Even like I said, even women who are bigger, they say plus size, they can critique themselves and make themselves look good too. Like in general, they just somebody had said something about Jill Scott, and I was just like,
Jill Scott was hot.
Jill Scott is still hot.
She's beautiful.
She is still hot. Like I think she is great, because what makes it, like, to me, is that not only she has a great, beautiful voice. She always
voice
dresses.
Has a lot to do with it.
She dresses.
No, I was in love with Eartha Kitt forever.
Oh God, Jesus! Every time I think of her, I always think of Boomerang.
Well, so where I first saw her, I was a huge fan of the Batman television series with Adam West.
She was Catwoman.
Oh, I'm telling you, like, as a kid, I was in love with her. But I will tell you, one of my favorite things that she's ever done was The Emperor's New Groove.
Oh, wow.
Do you remember she was in that? She was the one that was trying to take the...
I need to watch that. I only seen it one time.
There's a line in that where she goes, I know. I'll turn him into a flea, a harmless little flea. Then I'll put that flea inside of a box. Then I'll put that box inside of another box. And then I'll mail that box to myself. And when it arrives, I'll smash it with a hammer. I'm telling you, like, the best fucking... But yeah, I mean, voice has a lot to do with it.
Oh, yeah. I think voice, and at the same time, it's also, just in general, like I said, how do you how you work your frame, what you put on, what are you bringing out today? Are you bringing out your eyes today? Are you bringing out your smile today? What something? How are you highlighting your attributes? You know, that's what I say with Jill Scott. Jill Scott knows like she has curves. Okay, I'm gonna wear this, but she doesn't go out of her she doesn't step out of her limit. Like she knows like, okay, I can rock this, or I can do this, or maybe I need to lose weight here, maybe I need to pick up weight here. She does it all.
The sexiest thing in a woman is her confidence. It's no different than the sexiest thing in a man.
All day.
When you can step to somebody and you know that you're supposed to be in that spot right there right now, and you convey that with body language, it's going to translate. And I've met people in all shapes and sizes, and I feel kind of sorry for anybody that, you know, well, I have a type. They've got to be 5'6". They got to be this. They got to be that. You know, these are the measurements. This is the hair color. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I'm like, why limit yourself?
I mean,
just be open to meet people.
Yeah.
And you know, when somebody, you know, some people can be born with great cosmetically, you know, great bone structure,
great genetics,
right, all that stuff. But that doesn't inherently make you attractive.
That's true.
And, you know, I've I can't tell you how many times I've seen somebody that I was like, holy shit, and then they open their mouth.
Oh man. Oh man. All the time.
Like, holy shit.
All the time. People don't understand,
like the other day. Oh my God. No.
Conversation is stimulating, but at the same time is what you say. Like, I mean, it's been plenty of times when we was at the store together and I would see somebody and I'm like, oh man. I'm like, okay, she got the look. Okay. Okay. She got it. Okay. How y'all doing? And then she's like messed up sometimes, and then like she'd say, you know, I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, wow. I want to say, can you read? What do you know? I mean, in general, and then at the same time, some people don't understand. Your conversation tells a lot about you. Like, do you know, if you can only sit there and talk about yourself, about how you look, then that's all you got to say. You don't have that much to offer.
No, at all.
I mean, in general, I mean, that's the one thing I think a lot of people don't understand where they lack is, you know, don't get me wrong. We're creatures. Physical features is always going to be the first thing we see.
Of course.
I mean, that's what the game is. That's what life is anyway.
But there again, give a shit about your appearance. You know, maybe don't show up for a date in flip flops and PJ bottoms. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you don't have to necessarily be an Adonis, you know, or a glamour model, you know, but
Jet magazine.
If you give a shit about your appearance, if you know, you put yourself out there that you care about how you look.
Yeah. I mean,
and I'm not talking any style in particular.
Yeah.
I just mean, give a shit. That's all.
I mean, I walk out there like this. I'd be like, what up, Star Wars? What's up? And, you know, I don't know about that shit.
You're a fine-looking young man.
Why, thank you.
Ken, you so special.
Now, like, remember Porky Pig? He go, now, stop. Yeah, but it's stupid. Oh shit. No, but in general, you know, I mean, I think a lot of, you know, women nowadays they feel that they have to, because, you know, with men we just go out and put on a shirt or go on outside. That's us. Women, they will get dressed down because they're not only trying to look good for themselves, but they feel like they have to compete with the next woman. And that's something where I'm like, it's bad, but it's good because it's showing you that, hey, you're going to step out, you're going to try to be your best, but at the same time, you shouldn't have to worry about competing with somebody else, because regardless, the way it's supposed to go in the book of LL Cool J, a man doesn't choose a woman chooses a man. One love, baby.
You know, it's interesting that if you kind of understand motive, you can really kind of help create better outcomes. So, you know, if you understand that, you know, women are motivated by certain things, they're competitive of each other and so on.
Right.
And you find somebody that's really special to you, let them know it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I will say that, you know, I look for opportunities to tell Erica how incredibly special she is. And it's not to boost her ego. I mean, I feel that way.
Yeah.
But it does help when she gets to hear it. Because I might feel that way, but if I never say it.
Yeah, and plus, you know, like they say, women.
And I'm not just talking words, I'm talking actions, right?
Yeah. You know, you express, you do certain things, you know. And at the same time, as they say, women need compliments all the time.
But, yeah, and so because I constantly rag on you for giving me the really good, is that what you're doing, is trying to give me like a passive aggressive dig there?
No, I'm not.
Next you're going to talk about my socks?
I'm not talking about your socks. I mean, hey, you're the one wearing the black and the gray. I mean black, gray, what the fuck you trying to do, get Batman to come along? I don't know, but either way.
I'm Batman.
Oh God. Really? So we're gonna do this battle right now, Vader and Batman.
You know, that's happened online, right?
Vader and Batman.
Yeah. There's a YouTube video. You can YouTube it up, and somebody like.
Yeah, they do those weird fights and stuff like that. I seen like Homer Simpson go up against Peter Griffin one time. I was like, what the hell? But that's just creativeness, you know. Yeah.
If you had two fights that you could go to, one of them was Homer Simpson and Peter Griffin, and one of them was Vader versus Batman, which would you show up to?
I'm going to see Vader. Vader gonna take that.
Peter Griffin lost too, I guarantee you.
Well, of course, you know, Homer, when there's food involved, I don't know, you know, but, you know, Griffin get down too now.
Oh.
Yeah. Gee, Lewis. Just playing. But in general, you know, just with women, I feel like that, you know, they shouldn't compete, but at the same time, they should be, you know, should be more, complete with themselves. And at the end of the day, regardless of how much you want to dress and you want to put on and look a certain way to appeal to a certain type, you're never going to get true happiness unless you're happy with yourself first.
Mm-hmm. That's it. You've got to understand your own self-worth.
You have to understand, you know, your worth, and at the same time, you have to understand what you want and where do you want to go with it. Mm-hmm. You know, and at the same time, in this day and age now, it's not the same where, like, when my parents are, you know, when they were dating, whatever, and they made that accident on one night that came out to be me. But it's not like when two people, they meet each other, you know, unless like, you know, like an old school song, you know, a slow jam, they danced and fell in love on a slow jam. It's not like that anymore. It's now, it's all about, what do you have? What can you do for me? No one's taking the time to say, you got this, I got that. Let's come together. Let's build something together. Because once you build something together like that, I believe that also makes the bond even, you know, more stronger. You know, not the fact of you're trying to do something, but at the same time, you're going through the ups and downs together, the ins and the outs, and you're able to tough it out. And then you look back years ago and say, remember when we didn't have, but look at us now.
Oh yeah.
You know?
I mean, Erica and I are very much in that situation at the moment, and you know, if it's the same for a person, it's the same for a relationship.
Right.
You know, adversity, challenge, difficulty, they build character.
Yeah.
Well, it builds character in a relationship too. You know, on a previous issue, you had said that I talked to my wife a certain way.
That's right.
You know, and she laughed hysterically when she watched it.
She beats him.
Well, but it's requested, so.
Shit.
Well, you don't really request that kind of stuff. You just, you know, act badly and then get punished.
Well,
You know what I am talking about, don't you?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you like the whips.
Oh my God.
You like the spankings.
I was thinking.
You like the poop playing.
Fingering.
Yeah, you can incorporate your fingers if you're a good
Jesus. Boy. I'm not doing more fingers. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm just going to do this from here on out. And that's it.
You know, but that reputation's getting you away from the promo reputation.
Nah, ha 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 ha. There's an asshole that came back. There he is.
I can't remember because we were stacked up with episodes for a bit. Did we talk about episode 9 or have we already recorded that before the incident on the road?
Oh God.
Okay, so I want to tell this if you don't mind.
Go ahead, get it out there. At least
from my perspective.
Get it out there.
So when I was the biggest asshole in the world and I made Ken read a very, very embarrassing promo that's still haunting him somewhat. I guess his coworker or one of his coworkers had made a comment the next morning, and
they said, "Hey, small penis, how you doing?" And I was just like, I'm at work. I mean, yeah.
So
thank you, Haywood.
and I guess there was some doubt as to whether we're like this outside of the podcast. And I'm driving home from work the other day, and I work about 60 miles away from my house, and I'm driving up the road, and I guess it was 3 lanes at that time, and I go out on the left lane, and I pass this truck and never thought twice about it, and get in front and head on down. It cuts down to 2 lanes, and I get up to an intersection. I'm like 3 cars from the light, and there's 2 lanes. Then there's a strip, like that's got the stripe part in it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then 2 more lanes for a left turn. And this big truck comes pulling up beside my car, and the door opens. And I look over and see Ken, and he leans out and he goes, "Hey, don't you ever cut me off?" And I looked at him and went, "Don't you have a small penis?" And he goes, "Fuck you." And he slams the door and drives away. And I'm crying in my car. I'm like, it's fucking killing me. And he was with you at the time, right?
Well, that guy just named, he wasn't with me. He was on a different route. Now, this other guy who was with me, he actually is subscribed to the show and he watches.
Because you saw me pass you.
Yeah.
And you knew it was me.
Yeah, I was sitting there, I was just talking to him, and it's just crazy. I was just talking to him. I was like, man, I go up this way, and this is where we like do the show at. And he was like, "Man, really?" I was like, "Yeah, man." I said, "Yeah, man, my buddy lives up here." And all of a sudden, there's his car who just cuts me off right in front. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And I was like, "Dude, it's him." He's like, "No way." So I go pull up on the side. And pretty much what he said, how I did it was actually how it happened. And he's, and the guy who was inside right with me, he was dying laughing. He was like, "Yo, I really like this." I was like, "Yes." I was like, there's no scripted, there's nothing. This is how we are.
This is it. And
because you told the story, I owe you a fuck you, asshole. There you go. I owe that to you, that was, but it was just, this is crazy how that happened. I was just, I was talking word for word, and all of a sudden you just, I was like, what the fuck?
And then I found out when I got home that you had actually sent me a voice message before you had actually pulled up.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Saying the same thing. "Don't you ever cut me off?"
Yeah, I just swerve in front of him, just like it was nothing. And it's just sitting there, I pull up on him, he's sitting there with just cigarette, just.
I did think about you when I passed the truck, but the odds that it was you was like overwhelming.
I'm fucking amazed myself.
I just didn't even think that it would be you. I just saw the truck and, Ken drives one of those.
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't even look.
And like once again, this proves how much Karl is an asshole. He cuts people off. That's what he does.
I am not the best driver. I will tell you, I am a very skilled driver with almost zero patience.
You're skilled at cutting people off.
And I think I'm gonna at least say that it's because I have to exhaust so much patience at work that when I get on the road, I am a fucking maniac. Like
maniac. Oh god. Oh god.
But yeah, so I'm that dude that'll I'll be riding and you're in the fast lane and you're not passing anybody and there's nobody in fucking front of you. What the fuck are you doing up there, you fucking cocksucker? And that's basically my drive home.
Yeah, that's not only that, but the way you said the cocksucker and everything was a representation of how white people are in traffic.
Why is it gotta be?
Because the way you said cocksucker, that's just the way you said it. It's so movie-like. In the movie, they do it like that. You cocksucker! It's funny. I just had to point it out.
I was being stereotypical?
No, you just...
I'm so ashamed.
I know, but it was just the way you said it. And you're going to watch a movie. Watch one from the 80s, preferably. Mm-hmm. And the early 90s.
We watched Weekend at Bernie's recently.
Oh, that was my shit. Man... That dude was great.
That movie is so implausible.
Hey, now, you know what? It's a great movie, but it's some bullshit. If I was working on the freaking set, I'd have been pissed because the whole time this man made more money than them, and all they had to do was carry his fucking ass around and play dead. That is some bullshit. You give me all these lines, and his ass sits there just.
Yep.
That's all he fucking did. And then in part 2 was some bullshit too. Hey,
how did they even have a part 2?
But it worked.
Was he not decomposing at that point?
It worked because when they heard the music, Bernie just. And he get up, and you know in the NBA, right? When they do when they score and they do like this and they lean back and stuff, they're mimicking Bernie.
Are they really?
That's what it really comes from.
Holy shit!
Yeah, but Weekend at Bernie's, that was my shit. The second one was my shit. But the fact of it is, we need to point out the fact of y'all owe my man, what's his name, McCartney? Well, I can't think of his name. Andrew McCartney. You owe him some more fucking money. Because the fact of it is,
he carried that movie.
He carried him around. He carried
that movie.
He carried him around and carried the star around. And the star all he did was just ain't do shit. Mm-hmm. But the dude who played Bernie, he is a great. I liked him. I liked him when he was in the Mannequin 2. He was great. He was great in that too. Yeah, he was like Count something in there, and it's like, yeah, that's right, people. I watch a lot of movies. I watched that shit. It was great. You know, the first one was way better. But
oh yeah,
the first one was the shit. And then the song,
Now,
that,
who was the girl in that? She was what's her name?
Kim Cattrall. Yeah. The first one had the nothing's gonna stop us now. Mm-hmm. Like my sister told me, she's like, if you ever get married, I'm gonna hold up a stereo and then be right there playing that shit. And I was just like, you are. And she looked at me and she blinked like this twice. I said, you gonna fucking do it. Yeah, she'll be there just, all that I need is you. That's right. And, I might turn around, you're all that I want to do. Because like I said, I listen to a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. I'm fucking nuts.
Hi.
Okay, I'm done. All right, I got to get that out. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like I said, I listen to a little bit of everything, man. So, but it's the shit though.
Yeah,
it's the shit. And then and then I hated that my dude when he had died. When I found he had died of cancer, that played Hollywood in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he died years ago. But he was a great actor. He made me believe when I was young, when I watched, I was like, this dude is really gay. But that's great acting. When they make you believe something or you hate a certain character, like everybody hated the Queen in Game of Thrones. But Cersei, you had to, I gave it up to like, yo, I hate you. I hate this character. Mm-hmm. That means you did a great fucking job. Mm-hmm. That's what it means.
Yep. So, I'm a Frasier fan.
Yes.
And I consider myself a fan. I consider myself mental for Frasier. It was on Netflix for a long time, and she would just continually just burn through the episodes. and it was kind of one of those things for her. Like, the show is brilliant. Kelsey Grammer, the cast was a lot of people from theater.
Yeah.
You know,
he's a great writer, though.
The dad was actually a British actor. And the guy that played his brother, Niles Crane, is a fantastic actor. But he's gay. But when he played that character, it's kind of interesting because both Frasier and Niles were very gay in their mannerisms and their interests in theater and all these things. And there were a lot of jokes about, you know, them kind of being on that line, so to speak. And yet the undercurrent of that show didn't start this way, but it kind of developed very quickly into this love affair between Niles and Daphne. And the show was on for 11 seasons. In the first season, they had established that he was infatuated with her. And their chemistry on screen was so good that the writing continued to deepen that relationship.
Right.
To, by the time they got to season 7, they were, I think season 7 or season 8, they were actually, you know, starting to get together, or like, you know, and so, you know, it ultimately, the season 11 finale is, you know, Frasier leaving to go to San Francisco. You know, Niles and Daphne have had their first kid, and his dad gets remarried, and, you know, everybody's lives are restarting and so on. Right. So, but, you know, his performance in that and the chemistry that they have, there are moments in that show that will like really kind of knock you out. And so to that point, that's, I mean, yeah, incredible actor. David Hyde Pierce, by the way, is his name. I didn't mention it.
I can't never get this dude name right, but I love him at How I Met Your Mother. He played Barney. But when he was younger, he played the
Doogie Howser, MD.
Yeah, man. I can't think his name to save my life.
Oh, he's fantastic.
People at home, if you know it, say it into the camera.
You know, the funny thing is when I watch these with Erica and we go through these where we can't remember, she's like yelling at the TV. Yeah. I'm sitting beside her and she's yelling at the TV hoping that we'll figure out the answer because of her. Yeah. You know. But he also did a version of Lemony Snicket's. Yeah. And it's incredible.
And you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I never thought like to see somebody like the Jim Carrey do it. And I was like, okay, Jim, you did your thing. But him to come along and do it in a series, I was like, you did your thing, man.
Right.
He made it work. But yeah, but him and How I Met Your Mother was great. Every time he go, we're going out, it's time to suit up. I was like, oh shit. And he go ahead and go in and pull women.
Neil Patrick Harris. I looked it up because I knew that was going to just drive me nuts.
He was great in that.
He's great in just about anything.
I loved my Undercover Brother when they was like, no one calls me sissy, and he just goes off and he started like he takes his dude's head and then busts up, and then Dave Chappelle's like, if it was me, I would rip the spine out of his ass, you know. But he's a great actor.
He played himself in Harold and Kumar, right?
Yeah,
didn't he?
Yeah.
And he like killed some prostitutes at a brothel or something. Or they were shooting at him or something crazy.
I think that's another thing with acting that's great is the fact of when you see actors be something out of their element of what they normally do. Mm-hmm. And I think that was the show, and I haven't sat down and fully watched it. You guys are showing me that what's his name from SNL produced the show with what's his name?
Was it the documentary series?
The documentary series.
Yeah, so
the fact that you got to see other actors, big actors,
right,
come in here and play these other roles, and that's why I always love Tropic Thunder for that.
Right. So it's Portlandia. Yeah. God, we are fucking terrible with names today.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, look, I got off work, came over here. I'm a little tired. I mean, I see, usually your ginger beard is kind of curly. It's straight today. It means you're tired. But anyway, but the fact of it is that when you see actors like that, like I said, Tropic Thunder, when I saw Matthew McConaughey run around and just, I got you, TiVo, I was like, dude, that's my shit. Because the fact that you don't get to see, you see them in so much roles that are serious and they have to be this way. And it's like, nah. And that's another reason why I love Adam Sandler, Jack Nicholson, Anger Management. Because you got to see Jack. Jack is always known to be this guy. And that one scene where he's sitting up there, he's like, I like my toast and 2 scrambled eggs. And the next thing you know, Adam does it, and he sits over there, and he's looking at him. Adam walks away, and he just looks at the eggs, and I said over easy. Now, why did I do that? And it's like, what the hell? But at the same time, I love that. It's just the fact that to see of them out of their element,
I like actors when actors can portray themselves, but totally like not how they would be. Right? What was that End of the World movie? Like Michael Cera was in it, and Seth Rogen and a bunch of other people.
The End.
Yeah. And so you've got all these people like that are supposed to be themselves, but like, you know, it's, I guess, what you would assume that person is like in real life at, like, if you were going for the worst, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the guy, like, I think you said his name. Yeah, he was in
Michael Cera.
Yeah, when he was in
Superbad.
When he was in there in that bathroom doing coke and all that stuff, and I was just like, I was like, really?
He was in Arrested Development as well.
Yes,
which
he was
such a fantastic show.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? I mean,
Jason Bateman's incredible. Like, anything that guy does is quality.
It's really all about, one thing about, acting and all that. When I, like, years ago, I took like acting classes and stuff, and more so, it's all about you really, can you do this? Can you switch? Can you turn things on, turn things off? Can you kind of speak, like her, by acting, the actress lady, the actress teacher, she passed away now. She played Odessa in The Heat of the Night.
Oh, cool.
Deborah Calloway Duke.
Okay.
She goes around the room. This is years ago. This is when Tariq Alexander, he used to be like a famous model. He wrote for Stephanie Mills, the song I Feel Good All Over. He used to have his mansion here, but he moved back to New York. But anyway, he used to have this thing called The System Within, and he would have like actors in the industry come by. Hey, you want to learn how act this, that, and the third? Come and I'll have such and such here. So I did it for like 2 sessions, whatever like that. First one was with her, and she's literally like going around the room, and she starts talking. She starts talking in a Jamaican accent and starts talking to somebody else. Somebody else speaks something like this. She comes to me. She starts talking in a British accent. And she was like, how are you doing today? I was like, I'm doing fine. She was like, oh, we can talk. Me and her spent like 5 minutes, like just going back and forth. Right. And the general thing is, and then she switched to something else. And like, I can't think of what it was, but I kind of went with her a little bit. And she was like, she was like, yeah, raise your voice a little bit. Like, enunciate here and there like that. Mm-hmm. But she was like, yeah. And she pulled me to the side, like everybody else is like going, and she was like, you just play with it. And I was just like, how you know? She's like, you've been clowning all day in here. I was like, yeah. So, like, but she was saying in general, she's like, that's the kind of beauty of it, is see them, they're trying to act. They're just trying too hard. You kind of have to play with the role. Yeah. And, when you have somebody who can really do that, like all those actors does, like, that's why I like when Robert Downey Jr. was playing the black man in there. That was funny. Mm-hmm. Like, and what makes it the best is the fact of you see him as his whole persona. He's nothing like he is on screen, and that's when he's like playing Iron Man and like Tony Stark. He's just that, hey guys, how you doing? Like, that's him, and it's like, right, this is Iron Man. This ain't Iron Man, but that's him. You know?
I think you don't necessarily have to be a method actor, and I understand the approach to method acting, but there's also, I guess, some danger to method acting, like Heath Ledger, and you get things like that where people just get too down the rabbit hole with a character. But
yeah,
I think when you start reading scripts, and I'm not an actor, I've never put out for anything, so I'm talking out of my ass, but when you're reading for a script and you say, okay, well, this is a Scottish person, so I'm just going to read it with a Scottish accent, you're not really acting. If you start to understand what motivates that character and all those kind of things, and then try to figure out how you're going to be that character outside of the script, right? Mm-hmm. So, like I like to, when I'm trying to do a voice, I don't want to do a catchphrase from somebody. I want to be able to just sentence structure on the fly in that voice, right?
Yeah.
So when you look at like Johnny Depp doing Hunter S. Thompson in Fear and Loathing, when you're looking at, people that nail not just a voice, but mannerisms.
Yeah.
And an approach to the voice that sounds legit. Like Brad Pitt in, what was the movie that came after Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels?
Oh, God. Don't get me started, because there's so many Brad Pitt movies.
You like Dax?
Oh, God.
That's me, man. I want to care about know what he's for.
Yeah, you can tell.
Like he went deep with his Irish accent.
Yeah.
It wasn't your typical, hey, be Gary, we're saints alive. Oh, what a great day. Ho, ho, ho. He actually studied how they speak.
Yeah, it's just...
and it makes such a huge difference, to that kind of the depth of the performance.
Jamie Foxx, him playing Ray, but the only thing about him is, though, he kind of had to cheat. That's the reason why I say that. He actually was around Ray Charles before he even died.
How is that cheating, though?
I mean, because everybody else, most of the people that they act as, most of them are gone. So they have to go off the footage that they have. But you're actually still alive to be around with the man. And even the best part I love about it, even though it's kind of me like a cheat, like, hey, you kind of had you were right there. You had the chance to be with that man. So, but there was a deleted scene. Well, actually, of him and Ray Charles sitting up there, and Jamie was playing on the piano, trying to play a tune, but basically playing Ray Charles music.
Right.
And Ray's just over in the corner, like, "You're doing it wrong, son. You're doing it wrong." Like he could tell, like, you're hitting the keys too hard.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, Ray Charles gets up and starts playing, and he's sitting there, and Ray Charles is talking, and you see Jamie trying to just mimicking the way he's rocking, and then I was like, you lucky one. You know what I'm saying?
So I don't think that's cheating. I think that's just having extra sources available. It's it would be cheating if they had overdubbed somebody else's voice because he couldn't get the voice. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean,
I just think he had an extra advantage in doing that, and that's particular to doing an impression versus doing. Like when you're looking at a character that's in a movie and it's an original movie, these characters are all fictional. Yeah. The screenplay or the director saying, this is what I'm looking for in the character. This is the character's motivations. This is, then you take that and then you develop something that's not just for the lines, but that you can then kind of improv as that character in the moment. Right. I think your performance is going to deepen.
Yeah. I think, in general, when it comes to like, that and method and, and transitioning, acting, it's, they're both some work, they really are. Impressions, like you said, it's really more so about, matching the tone. And at the same time, you have to find your tone and like kind of play with your tone of how high you can go.
Mm-hmm.
Like I used to walk around the house and it was like Randy Savage, and I was sitting up there, and I was like, certain key words that you have to, kind of match,
Right.
And it's like, how he goes, oh yeah, like I would go, yeah,
play around with it.
And my sister was like, what the fuck are you doing? And I would go, oh yeah, and then all of a sudden I would ramble on, and she didn't get it, but now she's watching it, she's like, okay, I get it.
Well, she actually mentioned your Grandma Elma impression.
Oh yeah.
Now, you had actually done that in episode 6, right?
6
and 7. I think I got you to do it a bit.
6
and then
and
8, definitely.
Yeah.
8, we kind of went off a little bit.
Yeah.
No, because Gary showed up.
That's right, Gary always coming around. Shit.
No, it's such a beautiful day today.
No, it was. It rained a little bit.
No, not up here. It was sunny and nice and warm. We're out here in the trees.
Hey, it rained and then the sun came back out, man. Well, hot as hell. I took my ass back inside.
No, it's like a steam bath. It's good for your complexion.
A steam bath. You sure about that? You need to get some soap. Your ass stink.
I don't like the water.
You don't like the water. I mean, you don't like to wash your ass.
They didn't tell me that the sponge bath had water too. I've been doing it wrong for years.
No, you can't do that, baby. You can't walk around smelling like that. You can't walk around everybody smelling like ass. But in general, I mean, but it's just the fact of like, and some people, they can just mimic anybody. They just have that gift.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, one of my top impressions, I mean, when people who do impressions is always going to be Robin Williams. I mean, and the thing about it is he does impressions, but he doesn't like, some of them, he don't copy anybody. He just, okay, I'm around a Scottish person, and he'll sit there and he'll just do it. And then he'll just go from there and just make it his own. Like he'll own the whole thing.
Yeah. I know he did certain impressions, but I always kind of felt like he was just more of a character comic. He just.
Yeah.
But like when you're talking about like Jonathan Winters obviously was big time into impressions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dana Carvey.
Oh yeah.
Jim Carrey. Now, one of the things I liked, and I know you're a Jim Carrey fan, but one of the things I liked about his impressions was he like ended up looking like them. Like he could manipulate his face in such crazy ways.
Clint Eastwood,
yes.
I was like, dude.
And it's like his whole face looking changed.
Like he drew it in. He did that.
It was crazy.
Man, of course, when he does the 1989 Joker, and he just sweated to get a load of me. I'm like, dude, like.
Now, did I show you the deep fake?
Yeah.
Of him doing
Jack Nicholson,
from The Shining.
Yeah.
It's too bad we don't have my little Funko Pop of The Shining out here.
Yeah, you got to get that.
Yeah. But yeah, so that deep fake just kind of made me realize that he could totally do the role.
Yeah, he could do the role.
Because he does a great Jack anyway.
He does.
But there's a part of me that would want to see him do a remake of that movie, and I'm not a huge fan of remakes. This one I'd be on board for, but if he did it his way and not as a Jack impression.
Oh yeah, of course. Just let him go.
Because I think he would make it fucking ridiculously interesting.
Yeah. I mean, this how you do the movie. We want you to do the movie, okay? We're not giving you room to paint. We don't want you to calm back down. We want you to go out there and be you. Because when he did, what's the movie? Man on the Moon?
Yep.
Like, he embodied the character.
See, now that's where method acting can go wrong.
Yeah.
Because it fucked with him really bad.
It messed him up really bad. And it just like, it literally took him over. Like, he was just like, I was like, yo, you became him. Like.
Andy Kaufman.
Yeah. And
who's still one of my favorites.
Andy Kaufman. And you gotta hate.
Here I come to save the day.
You have to, like I said, I give him the utmost, because comedy is an art. within itself. And the thing about it is, he was ahead of the curve in his moment. Mm-hmm. A lot of people didn't get it, but it by the end, when it was pretty much a wrap for him, people understood where he was going with it.
I think certain visionaries, certain people that stretch boundaries, may not even realize that they're doing it. I think, how you can look at a profession and you can say, like with chefs or something, really good at these, I don't do so well at this. You know what I mean? Everybody kind of has their strengths, where, even in like, really just kind of any profession, but in those few people that really kind of innovate, sometimes I feel like it's almost like their passion isn't necessarily the thing. Mm-hmm. Their passion is the boundaries, the just finding ways of pushing boundaries.
I can see that.
And it just happens to be in this. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like Andy Kaufman, it was that. Jimi Hendrix, it was a guitar. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think if you had put a computer in front of Jimi Hendrix and that was his interest as a kid, he would have been that dude that, founded the next big thing.
Yeah.
I think it's this motivation to take something and drive it as far as you can drive it.
Yeah.
I mean, I could be completely wrong. It could be just that Jimmy just loved guitar so much and wasn't worried about, whatever, people thought, and just did whatever he felt.
I think it was that. I mean, I think he just went with what he felt, in the moment, as far as in my playing,
I still think it's a little more romantic to think about people that just, find something and just have to push a boundary in it.
Well, I mean, at the same time, I mean, in general, like, once again, it's kind of like, I always say his name, Prince, but you have these people who are out before you, and you're coming up and you're listening to them. And not only you figure out how can you play like them, but how can you stand out from them? So you got to work even harder. You got to push the boundary. You got to find out what's going to be about you that's going to be different, mm-hmm. that's going to stand out just like them. Because, regardless, there has been plenty of guitarists to come along and do what they do.
Right.
And they're great. All of them are great.
Oh, there's some fantastic ones out there.
But when you mention, like I said, Eric Clapton, mm-hmm. when you mention Hendrix,
yeah.
you mention so many people from so many other bands, it's like they're all their own, freaking, and at the same time, it's like, man, but it's something about those earlier names of Hendrix and Clapton that's never going to be forgotten, because they did something in music. There was something that the way that they played, the way that they, the way that he would bend the freaking strings on the guitar is like unreal, and it would still sound good, Mm-hmm. And even then, with Prince, he bent them, but you never saw him. Like, he would take the guitar and throw it real quick and give me another one. Like, you know what I'm saying? But in general, the way he would bend it and still pull it off is like, it's like you found your own, mm-hmm. what makes you different,
Yeah.
And that's why you love Hendrix.
Well, and I think you can kind of look at that with anything. I think there's got to be something almost like a competitive nature of, like, there are people that want to win a race, mm-hmm. and there are people that want to own the world record.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's something different about an Usain Bolt or somebody that, winning isn't good enough.
Yeah. I mean,
I want to smash a world record.
Yeah, but I knew he was special. When I seen that one clip of him running with no shoes on, it was hot as hell outside, and his feet looked like it were cooking at the bottom. I said, "Yo, he's got talent." Mm-hmm. When you running like that, and at the same time when the police like, nah, I'm good. Like, if he was to run from him, like, nah, I'm not even gonna try to chase him. Let him go. He can have the TV, whatever. Yep. Like, when you're that talented and that fast, man, it's unreal, But very seldomly do we see people who have that skill, mm-hmm. and very seldomly do we see people who try to chase after it like that, mm-hmm. who want to like make a mark, half the time people just want to get in and get what they can and then be done with it, you know.
Right.
But like I say, it's very rare that you see special people that will come along and not only get in but show you this is why I am here.
Right.
You know, that's like Freddie Mercury.
Mm-hmm.
You know, pretty much when he found out that, you know, he had AIDS, you know, he was just like, yo, like I still want to put out music. I still want to do what I love. I'm still going to put, you know, I'm going to still put my best foot forward while I still can, you know. And that's somebody who did not only, you know, make music, but he did something in music that changed the way people looked at music, you know.
Absolutely.
As far as in overall, because Freddie Mercury was the shit.
Yes.
He was the shit, you know. But in general now, I mean, you still have people that are doing that now, but they're not in the front of the camera. Sometimes they're behind it. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they're just in the band, or they're just, okay, I'll write this, but you sing that, right. You know, or I'll play this, but follow that, you know. So it's kind of like, you know, times change, but the drive is still there. It's just people are moving in different directions of it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So.
That's true.
Yeah.
I was getting myself hyped up as I was kind of cleaning around down here. I pulled something in my back, and no, like yesterday or something. I don't know. My back sucks, but I was down here and I kind of needed to hype myself up to get everything set up and ready. So I started kicking on Biggie and
okay.
Went kind of 90s.
Oh man.
You know, Pete Rock and CL Smooth.
Oh God. Okay. Man, even the original.
Reminisce.
By I can't think his name. Something, I think Scott and the Californians or something. Mm-hmm. Even the original, when you're listening to that, it is so great. Because when he comes in and you hear him, it is so special in that moment. Mm-hmm. When you hear it in Reminisce Over You by Pete Rock and CL Smooth, it's actually sped up a little bit.
Right.
But when you hear him just, like he was just thinking, you could tell when he was playing, like he was thinking as he went, he was like, I was like, you were just going, but you didn't know what you did. You know. But
it was so slick.
Wherever, like I said, one of my greatest songs forever is going to be "Don't Sweat the Technique" by Eric B. and Rakim. Yep. But it's something about that reminisce over you. Like me and my friends used to have this. Like I would have like 4 controllers hooked up, my PlayStation 2, NBA Street Volume 2. Mm-hmm. When you put it in, the first song we played all together, I had just bought it. Everybody was over to the house. We put it in. All of a sudden you hear doom doom. Imagine for all 4 of us, we all rocking the same way, and we just like, yo, like that's like one of the greatest, like ever. Like, you know, I was just like, dude, you gonna get good stuff like that no more, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's always gonna be rap. There's always gonna be, but that sweet era of just pure hip hop is just it's not only about the production, but the words went with it. You know what I'm saying? The song, like you
can hear his head banging on the wall in the next room.
I'm telling you, man, you don't get good. You don't get good shit like that no more, man. I mean, it's just like, okay, cool.
This one's a girl. Let's name her Pam. Same father's the first, but you don't give a damn.
You know what I mean? You don't get that no more. You know? I mean, I wish it could go back to that, but it never will. It never will, because everything evolves and goes on. And in my honest opinion, just because it evolves and goes on doesn't mean it's necessarily better.
That's the great advantage of perspective. From our perspective,
right,
it won't get any better.
I mean,
but it's when rock and roll came out, there was a generation of people that said, it doesn't get any better than jazz.
Of course, yeah.
Right? I mean, Count Basie, Dave Brubeck, Charlie Parker.
Okay.
How are you going to get better than that, right? Miles Davis, Bitches Brew. That album is so heady. It's like
Miles Davis, Inner City Blues.
I mean, you know, like it changes. You know, it's people listen for different things. You know, we grew up in an era where we were at that age, and that was really what was that's what was dope. That was, you know what I mean? And so it sticks with you. It's, you know, it's Arrested Development in a sense.
Oh God.
You know, we all go through these traumas in our childhood and in our adolescence.
Everyday People, Arrested Development. All right. We gonna play
Everyday People.
They don't know, man. Like, they don't know, man. It's so much good shit. Like, I mean,
you know, we go through all these traumas, right? And in some ways that the challenge builds character and helps you understand how to get through certain issues and problems, et cetera, et cetera. But in other ways, in losing your innocence, you hang on to certain parts of it.
yeah.
You know, and I think it's just instinctual. It's kind of like, okay, I got to let this go, but this I'm going to hang on to.
Yeah, I mean, but hip hop, R&B.
It's bigger than hip hop.
That was a great song too. Dead Prez, it was a great song too. But I mean, there's certain, like, hip hop, even though it was what it was, but it still had its fun moments, but it had its stories. I mean, you know, even my man's, even when he came out with a couple of songs, you know, he came out and he was a high school cheerleader, pom poms, you know, I'm talking about Marky Mark,
Yep.
Wild Side, you know. But even then, it had a beat, but it had a story, you know. That was the hip hop of it. That was what it was at one point. It was about storytelling. It was about really about you thinking about what you're doing in your life in your moment, and be careful how you move.
How much of it do you think is our need to be a part of something? So when people look at sports, when people look at being a fan of a band, you know, any of those kind of things, there's a certain element of it that says, you know, we're part of a group. Right. I'm part of a collective. It's actually part of what is really, from what I understand, the difficulty of that guy from the Flat Earth Society, pardon me, you know, is from what I gather, he knows it's stupid, but he's was so enamored with being part of a collective that finally, you know, he was this part of this thing, and then rose to this position, and, you know, started this huge movement of sorts. And I mean, how do you go back? How do you turn around and say, no, it's not, it's round. I was mistaken. Not only are you going to be continually persecuted by the people that knew you were wrong, but then all the people that thought you were on their side are now, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know, so what if the music that we stick with is because at that time it's what was popular, and we wanted to be a part of something, as everybody does. And so that's what you gravitated to. And then that kind of just sticks with you. You know what I mean?
I can see why you say that, but there's a difference when music is made through instruments, and then when you're using and sampling, when you're sampling and you're going back and sampling stuff that had real sound to it. And now, don't get me wrong, they're creating stuff, but they're not even, most of these people that are producing now, as far as in hip hop, they can't even play an instrument. They just gotta have an ear.
But what is an instrument? No. Look, okay. what I mean by that is, how long's a guitar been around?
Oh,
neither
God.
of us are going to know the honest answer to that.
Yeah, because it didn't start as a guitar. It started as
a sitar or something else. It developed, right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that guy's playing with 6 strings. That's not fair. All our guitars only had 4. You know what I mean? Like, you know, before, you know, drum machines.
Yeah.
You had to play a drum kit. You know what I mean? And then somebody put sounds on a keyboard, like an electronic keyboard, and you could actually make drum sounds with it. And then people came out with drum sequencers and all that kind of stuff. Are those not instruments?
They are, but at the same time,
it's a different skill level. I'll guarantee you that. But it's still a tool to create music.
Yeah, it is.
Which is ultimately what any instrument is a tool to create music, right? And if a piano is ivory keys that when you strike them, a lever hits a hammer that hits a string that resonates through a big cavernous wooden body that creates a tone, then what's a keyboard?
Right. But tell me what's better than
what's better?
What's better than having somebody over here playing this kind of tune?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody over here playing this kind of playing on the drums. Have somebody here playing this kind of instrument, and then all of a sudden you got all these different sounds, but they all blend together, and they make this great sound that's just unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, now not only is that a great sound, but all of these people, they created jobs for themselves within that moment, and this is entertainment. Now you take that away.
Okay.
I even went to the job factory. I know, but either way, which was kind of dumb, but in general, either way, I mean, it's still not better than. I mean, it's still better than some of the stuff now. I mean,
so I think we're going to get into one of those semantics things, and I don't want to go off on a tangent semantically.
Yeah. This is not one of those. I don't think so.
I think what you're talking about is the quality of what's produced, not how it's produced.
Right.
And wholeheartedly, I would agree that a lot of people that can produce music easily don't put the same kind of quality into it than what you would get out of people that have trained in instruments and have worked for years understanding an instrument and getting a collective of those people together. So it's not one person. I mean, you can have a Moby, or somebody. Michael Jackson used to write a lot of every part and get all that stuff organized before he ever brought it to anybody. You can have Prince did the same. You could have, those type of situations, but I think ultimately it doesn't really matter what tools you use. And that goes for hip hop as well. If the tools that you use are sounds that you've grabbed from other things and you incorporate it in a way that, stuns you, like Don't Sweat the Technique or, Reminisce. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, those are still my greats, but in general, when you hear a band, when you hear Earth, Wind, and Fire, it was so many people, it looked like they were having a freaking barbecue.
Parliament Funkadelic was like that too.
Dude, but yeah, but
in a lot of cases, those were the exception. I mean, when you got into popular, like, modern music, obviously you had huge jazz ensembles. You had, classical, orchestras and things like that, where you would get a ton of people together. I can't necessarily say it's better or worse than something else. I've heard 3-piece bands that not only wrote incredible music, but sounded like they were, there's a band called Muse. You ever heard of them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So they, they kind of, in some ways, had a Queen aspect to the theatrics to their music. Mm-hmm. And they were a British pop rock band. I say were, I don't know, they're probably still around. But I had really gotten into them. 3-piece, left-handed drummer, and a sick drummer. But I wondered how, because they had piano, guitar, bass, and drums in their songs.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, so when they perform live, they got to have like somebody else. Because on the albums, it's the lead singer who does the guitar and the keyboard. Got to see them live. Holy shit. This guy would come out and like rock the shit out of this guitar, just singing, blah, blah, blah. Take the guitar and he would like throw it off of his shoulder, throw it off the side of the stage. Some stagehand would catch it. Boom, he was on the piano, just killing the piano part, right? Stand up, guitar's coming in, throw it over his shoulder and just right back into it. Ridiculously amazing until the 5th song happened.
My man Prince, he used to do it too.
Yeah, the 5th song happened. Mm-hmm. And apparently when he was catching the guitar head, the at the top.
Yeah.
Caught him in the upper lip. He goes to start singing in the mic. And Eric and I are like right down front. Fucking blood just starts coming. And he can't form any words because his lips split right down. Yeah, so he literally like split his lip apart. And so he couldn't form any words. And he just sat there spitting blood at people for a second, and then he stopped playing and he turned around and they had to stop the show. But 3-piece band, unbelievably full sound, incredibly talented.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm not knocking bands.
Just be more focused on quality. There's tons of crap out there. You got to filter through it.
There is.
You gotta wade through the bullshit to find quality shit. But it's out there.
Yeah, it's out there. It's out there, and the thing I don't like right now that a lot of them are doing, like they're doing all these like versus stuff, and the new versus one that's coming out is going to happen. You were telling
me about this, and then I heard somebody else was saying something about it.
Yeah, okay. T.I. tried to challenge 50 Cent and
lost, right?
They didn't even battle. It's not happening.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're not. But they do have a real feud, and it's just back and forth. And now it's like back on again. But the newest one that's actually going to happen July 22nd is going to be DMX versus Snoop Dogg. That's a tough one. We know who the ultimate winner is going to be.
What are the criteria though?
SNOOP.
Well, I know. I mean, you can't discount.
No, you can't discount DMX because DMX has made some great stuff.
Well, he's had some big hits.
Mm-hmm. But
what you really want?
Yeah. You know, but he's not gonna get past Snoop Dogg's first album, Doggy Style. He's not gonna get past it.
So, I mean, what's the criteria for these battles? Because you told me like Ludacris went up against somebody.
Ludacris went against Nelly. It's about the hits. Nelly.
So like sales or like.
Well, basically they play their songs like basically they're playing their hits, and they might play other songs that was known too, but overall the reason why Nelly won because Nelly still had the hits. People don't understand. Hot in Here, a Country Grammar.
I was never a Nelly fan.
The one song he did with Tim McGraw, All in My Head, like they went through. Seriously,
I'm hanging out with them country boys. I see.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you can't beat that. Now I wish that the old heads, like a lot of old heads, was alive. I would do like if I was Stevie Wonder, I'd be blind and shit. I challenge Ray Charles. You know.
See now why you got to go blind guy against blind guy.
Hey, they won't find each other. Think about it. There won't be no violence. They won't fight. You know, I mean, they probably hit each other. They probably trip and fall over the pianos. But either way, and Stevie Wonder's my dude. Like I generally love like Stevie Wonder. I don't know how.
Dude's ridiculously talented.
He is ridiculously talented, and the songs that he has wrote, songs "The Key of Life," "Overjoyed," freaking who in the hell?
Oh, that's your puppy. I forgot. Like, what is that noise?
Who in the hell did he sleep with to make him see this shit? Like, dude, how you writing about these women? You got to be lying to the world. I think he'd be like this in public, and then like when the door closes and they get him like in the changing room, he just does like this, like they gone. Tell me stop. I'm just saying. But in general, like that would be a good.
Messed up.
That would be a good versus, like, you know what I'm saying? It would be like, you know, something like that. But once again, we'll never get that, you know. But those people that make those songs, like those bands, you know, in every form, like, you know, but we'll never get half of the stuff. You won't.
So who judges those? Like I haven't seen these.
Basically,
it's like on Instagram or something.
It's like on Instagram. Everybody tunes in, and I don't know who does the judging, but like they did one for like reggae. It was like Beanie Man versus Bounty Killer, and it was so crazy. It was funny as hell because.
Snow wasn't in there?
Man, no.
And farm.
Oh,
my God. I like it boom boom now.
Yeah. Jesus, that was a one-hit wonder right there. And when people hear it, you know, it's back in the day, so everybody would see him in the video. He'd be out there doing like this. Everybody be in there doing like this.
I did that totally for Erica.
Yeah. You know.
Oh God. Okay.
But it was great because you saw two people reggae play and they played their stuff. Mm-hmm. But the funniest shit ever was in the middle of it, the Jamaican police came in there and Beanie Man's like in the camera like people, we're going to perform. And then he's like, the other dude, Bounty Killer, he hauled ass. He left like, oh shit, I got warrants. And all of a sudden he grabs the mic. He's like, Killer, come back here right now. And like, this shit is so funny. Y'all can check that shit out. You will die laughing. Like the songs were banging, and Beanie Man won the battle overall because Beanie Man was actually the one who really like crossed over and actually made hits. Because people don't remember, he actually worked with Pharrell. He actually did had a song with Janet Jackson, but which she's very nice in person. Yeah, she is. She's cool. But
I just need a moment.
No. Mm-hmm.
All the times. Okay.
Nasty boy.
No, I'm telling you that other album when she was in the jeans and little low cut, she was out on the beach.
The Velvet album, was it? Oh no, Janet.
I need another minute.
Janet is still a beast right now.
Okay.
I would Janet her Jackson any day.
Mm-hmm.
Quick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't care how old she is. She's like, you know, I can't move like I used to.
How is it all them Jacksons came out fucked up except for her?
You know what? I think her fucked up was a different kind of fucked up. You know, I think honestly, what happened was they did. Joe.
You see, what had happened was that's my favorite, honestly, like beginning to any story.
They didn't lace her weed, so that's why everybody else came out kind of fucked up, except her. She was smoking regular, was normal. She went afterwards, oh, I'm hungry, I'm gonna give you some Cheez-Its. They went looking for shit out in the yard to eat. They were fucked up. But
I tell you, Joe fucked that family up big
Joe,
time.
Look here. Between Joe and Ike Turner, they need to have a versus battle.
I don't think that's the same kind of battle.
They need to pick a child. Each one pick a child. And,
pick a child.
They need to pick a child and see who can whoop that ass, or a woman. Because I don't care what nobody say. Joe just wasn't beating. He wasn't just beating the Jackson 5. Mm-hmm. I promise you he wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I would say in general between Joe, like, and Mike, he just, my dad used to beat me. He used to beat me all the time, and he killed my rat named Ben. That rat Ben dead. I'm trying to tell you. That's probably like the 25th rat that done died in that house. In general, you got all them kids in there. Everybody just ain't eating their food in the kitchen. Trust me, rats was running around, roaches and shit. I'm trying to tell you right now. Like, and he made the song about it. My rat named Ben. I miss Ben. You a grown ass man, Mike. Like, that's Mike still my dude. He's still my dude.
Oh yeah, musically,
he's a badass.
Yeah.
He's a badass, and I always will respect Mike. I still respect Prince. I joke about all of them, but at the end of the day, I'm still playing Michael Jackson.
We're gonna joke about anybody.
Oh yeah,
everybody.
I'm telling you right now. I like I said, even when we picked the George Michaels, you gotta have faith. Like in general, yeah, you do. Even when you got your pants down in the bathroom. So, you might have the faith that you...
I think you need a little extra faith.
Yeah, just in case. So you can...
Glory hole can be dangerous.
Jesus Christ. But you gotta have faith. But in general, I like all of them. Even my man, one-hit wonder, Stevie Winwood with Higher Love. I like him too.
How was he a one-hit wonder?
To me, he was. Like, that was his...
Just because that's the only hit that you know of doesn't mean he was a one-hit wonder.
I listened to other stuff he had, but it's something about that Higher Love, though. Like every time I hear
All right, you're making me pull my phone
I want to
out
go.
here.
I want to go on the beach and like a palm and stand by a palm tree and with the palm tree shirt on and just take it higher life. Oh, I said I just want to do that. My man was off the chain too back in his day. My man was badass though. David Bowie, he was a bad motherfucker.
David Bowie was a bad motherfucker.
DC's tone to ground
Higher
control.
Love, I'll be back in the high life again.
Man, yeah. But it wasn't like Higher Love though.
Don't you know what the night can do? The finer things.
Yeah.
Night Train.
Yeah, but was it? But did it touch everybody like Higher Love? See, that level's very high.
He had a bunch of hits.
That's what the song said.
You're crazy.
But that's what the song said.
One-hit wonder.
He was a one-hit wonder. I mean, in general, think about it.
You're a one-hit wonder.
What is the most? What is the most one? I'm saying, but what is the most he's going to be known for? It's always going to be Higher Love.
Well, I mean, come on.
I mean,
that's like saying Madonna's going to be known for Vogue.
Madonna's going to be known more for hoeing than she is anything else. Shoot, why do you think she made it some holiday? That means she was finna get fucked on a holiday. What you think?
She followed it up with a song about teen pregnancy and keeping the baby.
That's what I'm saying. Now you're getting on the same page. Now you see the shit as I'm telling you now.
All right, I think we've degraded this podcast.
No, we have not degraded it. I haven't even got started with Forrest Gump. A lot of people don't even realize it. Okay, you gotta think about it. Forrest Gump. Remember, Jenny had told him she didn't say it, but she let him know she had AIDS. Forrest got that shit. Mm-hmm. And the movie went off.
How do you know he got it?
He got that shit.
How do you know?
Look here, stupid is as stupid does. Look here.
You don't know.
What? Forrest went raw. He had a child.
Well, of course. But that doesn't mean he was automatically going to get AIDS.
Damn it, he got it.
He could have been a carrier.
He died.
What if he was just a carrier?
Look here, Forrest, look here. And then the comment you made earlier about what if you do something and then you like about the earth is flat and he changed his mind and say no, the earth is round. Okay. Stuff like that when he finally does that. Remember when Forrest Gump was running? He was running across country and everything and all of a sudden he just said, I want to go home now. Same shit.
No.
Yes, it is.
No.
Yes, it is.
No, that's not even close.
Yes, it is.
You're stretching now.
Yes, it is. I am stretching. But back to my main point. Force. Look here. That's right. Look here. Look, they even thanks to him like, yes, tell us. Forrest Gump had that shit. He got it. Okay. A lot of people want to listen to me. He got it. Damn it. And then another movie that could have did better. Grease. Oh yeah, Grease could have did. Look here. If you look back at it, the song, when in the beginning, when he was there talking about summer days, whatever, really, tell me more. Me, I'd have been my version.
Did she put up a fight?
I'd have been like, tell me more. Did she give you that mouth? Tell me more. Did he go down south? Tell me more. That would have been, I would have made it better, okay? That would have been me. But I would love the theme song Grease, though, because the theme song is fire.
Sandy, baby, why you left me?
And that's another thing. They called it Grease, and they named the car Grease Lightning. They made that shit to be the most beautifulest thing. And what happened there? Grease Lightning got fucked up, didn't it? And they had to go take it back to the shop. And my question is, how the hell y'all fix it so fast? That shit costs money. All of a sudden, it just came out and they went flying to the sky. What kind of shit is that?
Well, I mean, it was the high school shop class.
Grease, and then years later, what came up?
You never took shop in school?
Yes, I did.
Anything's possible in shop.
I made a fucked up bookshelf.
I bet you did.
I made it fucked up, like, you know, said like the way it was
All
spinning out.
wonky and lopsided and shit.
Yeah, the little main part was kind of fucked up on the curve. Either way, so
let me continue building things, is what you're saying?
Yeah, that's you. Yeah, you the shit at that. You the shit. But another movie to fall behind Grease that was supposed to be like, you know, hey, Johnny Depp, that's my man. Crybaby.
That was a bad movie.
Crybaby
was a terrible movie.
Crybaby was a bad movie, not because it was Johnny Depp, but y'all had the nerve to put Ricky Lake in there when she was the same size as that fucking car. Huge. She was. You go back and look at it. A lot of people go back and look at it, go like, oh my God, that's Ricky Lake. Yeah, Ricky was the size of a fucking lake. I'm done. I said my piece here.
And on that note, a little bit of fat shaming from Ken.
Shallow Hal. Shout out to my boy, Shallow Hal. Look here. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. When you blink twice, that's a wide ass. Anyway, I'm done.
All right, everybody. That would be another wrap.
Please, we thank you. Comment, subscribe, share, like. Check us out on IG, literally with Carl, with literally Ken and Karl. Check us out. We're on YouTube. We're on Apple. We're on Google. We're on SoundCloud, I believe.
Okay, so I'm gonna do it like this.
Yeah.
We're on SoundCloud, which is our RSS home.
Okay.
But you can also listen to it there and subscribe.
Mm-hmm.
We are on Apple. Okay. We are on Spotify. Mm-hmm. And what used to be Google Play is actually transitioning to Google Podcasts. So they will have their own app for podcasts. It's available now. Mm-hmm. I've downloaded the app. It's actually really nice. But I did notice Google is a little bit slower to get the updates to the RSS feed. So when I put something in SoundCloud, it's instantly available on Spotify.
Yeah.
Whereas when I go to Google, sometimes it takes an extra day or so before it shows up. Yeah. But, you know, Google, get your shit together.
Yeah, and come to YouTube and check us out and see how ugly we both look. You know, that's just my opinion.
I mean, you know, come for the table, stay for the dorks.
Sounds about right.
All right. Peace, everybody.
Peace.